What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Bucs OC. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share all the new videos, and don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify you on all new videos that's posted on this channel. Shouts out all the Pirate and Sea Bandits. Thank you for joining. Come on in. Gotta make my video today. Everybody good? Everybody ready? Ready. Everybody ready? Ready. Begin. Got some news, man. I miss him.
That was me.
Man, Mike Tomlin gone. He said, I'm out. The AFC North is wild. Yeah, AFC North, man. Those of you that didn't know, these things right here, don't sleep on these. These things good. Mike Tomlin is out as the head coach. Crazy, man. That's how the game works. What y'all think about bringing Mike Tomlin here? What I've been up to, I've been watching, man. I've been watching. I've been watching, man. Zach Taylor kept his job. Hey, if the Bucs got a chance to do it, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. I mean, I know they didn't like him in Pittsburgh, but Tomlin be having his boys ready though. And we got a much younger team than the Steelers. I know. If the Bucs want Tomlin, they gotta trade a draft pick, some compensation, some money. The Bucs ain't gonna do it. They're not gonna go after John Harbaugh, Tomlin. They think Todd Bowles better for whatever reason. He'll fix our defense though. I'll tell you that. He'll fix our defense, especially the secondary. 19 years, man. 19 years. That's a long time. That's a long time. Pardon me, y'all. I'm sorry. Well, sorry, but not sorry. Had snacking something. Let's get down to business. $19 years, never lost. It seemed like the Bucs went through 19 straight years of losing. So we'll be cool with Tomlin. But the Bucs not gonna pull that trigger though. It's like they think Todd Bowles is the best available coach for the team because of the environment. I know he's better than Todd Bowles though. He's better than Todd Bowles. I mean, look, I get it. Well, Pittsburgh is held to a higher standard than Tampa. Pittsburgh is a historical franchise. Tampa is a bottom shelf franchise in terms of just mystique. You know, trying to compare Tampa to Pittsburgh is like comparing a filet mignon to a overcooked steak. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of hate doing comparisons to better franchises in general. Like Pittsburgh is a winning franchise, Bucs is not. So it's kind of like anything from a winning franchise will help this team. I mean, you know, our overall record as a franchise is under 500. I mean, we got 2 Super Bowls, don't get me wrong. But just historically good franchises, the Bucs are not considered that. So Mike Tomlin is an upgrade over Todd Bowles, even though he hasn't won a playoff game in a long time. But the culture he puts in there is much better than Todd Bowles. I will say that. You know, but I don't know if some of us as fans will accept Mike Tomlin as a head coach over Todd Bowles because they're like, well, Todd Bowles is mediocre, but Todd Bowles is not Mike Tomlin. So, you know. But this changes the landscape for the coaching hires and OCs. A lot of people talking about the Bucs, you know, Mike McDaniel, you know, Todd Monken, and Mike McDaniel, Todd Monken, Mike McDaniel, Todd Monken. Truth be told, we're not the top of the food chain. You know what I'm saying? You know, the Bucs situation is not top of the food chain. I want y'all to know that. Does everybody understand that part? The Bucs are not at the top of the food chain. You know what I'm saying? And that's unfortunate. Lions OC job is better. You know, Ravens OC job is better, right? And the reason why I say these like, I think the Bucs probably the 3rd or 4th best OC opening. Like maybe Atlanta's OC job is much better, you know. And the reason why I say that, the only reason why I say it is because of the Todd Bowles situation. You know, it's the Todd Bowles overhead that's holding this franchise back as far as getting a top head coach and a top OC. I believe the Bucs can upgrade from Todd Bowles if they wanted to. But the problem is it's the franchise. The franchise is not, it's not the first choice for a lot of top candidates. That's why if when Arians left and Todd Bowles was the successor, if this job was an open competition job, Todd Bowles wouldn't have got the job. You know, and the problem with the current situation for the Bucs is the Todd Bowles overhead. It's sketchy. You know what I'm saying? It's very sketchy. It's weird. It's the culture. You know, Todd Bowles, he's very like, you know, and I don't know if coaches want to deal with that. I don't know if OCs want to deal with that. The Bucs gonna have to get a veteran OC. They're not gonna get a young. I don't know if they're gonna get a young OC because of Todd Bowles with Cohen, and Canales, and Gazard. They all were young guys. So this is why Todd Monken. People bring up Todd Monken, but I ain't really with that because I saw him with the Bucs in 2016, 17, 18. No thanks. You know what I'm saying? Like the offense sputtered. And the reason why his offense worked with in Baltimore is a better structured organization. And then plus he had Lamar Jackson, which is like 5 times better than Baker Mayfield. You know what I'm saying? So you can't compare apples to apples with the Ravens offense and the Bucs offense. Yeah, the Bucs got receivers and this and that, but the Bucs don't have Lamar Jackson. The Bucs can have all those weapons, but if you ain't got the quarterback, the cream of the crop, you're pretty much just fighting for, first round playoff hosting the game and one and done. You gotta have a quarterback to take it to another gear. So with the Tomlin situation, it changes the landscape for the Bucs, and I don't know at this point if they're going to be able to get a Todd Monken, which I don't want to deal with that, or a Mike McDaniel, because truth be told, do y'all think Mike McDaniel is going to choose the Bucs over the Lions? I mean, just straight up, like situation, stability. Because if you come to the Bucs as an OC, young or old, veteran or first time play caller, you're in a awkward situation. Awkward. What up, Night and Dream? It's an awkward situation for Mike McDaniel, even a Todd Monken to come into. Now, you do have somebody that could probably come in and maybe kind of lurk for the head coaching position if Todd Bowles don't do well. But if Todd Bowles don't do well, that don't mean you're going to get the job. For Todd Bowles not to do well, that means the entire setup will be just a mess. You know what I'm saying? So it's a strange situation. I'm going to keep saying it. I know it's kind of repetitive, but I just wish the Bucs was not in a situation like this. I wish Todd Bowles would have finished 10-7 versus 8-9. 10-7, stability, he's one, extra joke, you know what I'm saying? But I just don't see him getting a Liam Cohen type OC. It's gonna be a hard sell because you got to convince somebody you need that this job is the right job for them to go, because anybody that takes a job is looking for a head coaching job. Anybody taking this OC job is looking for a head coaching job. Point blank, period. Any credible name take this job, they're looking for a head coaching job. And it's going to be a 1-year thing. It's going to be a 1-year thing, and it's just and the thing about it can go really good or really bad. And at this point, the trajectory for the Bucs is pointing down, and that's dangerous. Like, that's dangerous for any play caller, young or old, because you can come in and implement your scheme, but you got to accept Kevin Cranberry and you got to accept them. You got to accept Kevin Cranberry and Skip Pete on your staff. You don't even know them. I keep saying this, like, if you're going to clean slate. And then on top of that, the Eagles position came open and the Chargers OC position came open. So that knocks the Bucs even further down the list. Why would Mike McDaniel choose the Bucs over the Eagles offense? Or the Chargers? You see what I'm saying? Stability matters, man. Like, stability matters, man. And this, I'm telling y'all, just like last cycle when we hired Josh Gazar, man, we interviewed all these people, and then some random person that we weren't even thinking about is going to get the job. Yeah, man, King Cook, it's getting weirder and weirder every day with the Bucs OC position. It's like, what can they really do? This is not set up for success. If Todd Bowles had a successful season, that's different. But he's been sketchy for the last couple of years. Even the 10-7 season was a little sketchy. 8-9, 9-8, 10-7, 8-9. What are we doing there? So the Bucs might end up getting a guy that nobody really was thinking about. Somebody brought up Brian Dable, Mike Kafka. Like, look what they interviewing. Guys that didn't come off a successful stint as an offense. Who else they interviewed? Todd Monken. The Ravens offense didn't look good this year. And then he takes the Bucs job, OC job, but you're getting Baker Mayfield. You're not getting Lamar Jackson. You're not getting a 6'5" Justin Herbert. You're not getting a loaded Eagles offense with a top tier O-line if they're healthy, with a top tier running back. Evans, old Chris Godwin, young Emeka Egbuka, up and coming McMillan, Tez Johnson, Bucky Urban, who don't have top end speed, who can't pass block, small frame. O-line with good tackles, one all-pro tackle and a solid right tackle, but a questionable interior with no depth. Then on the defensive side, you're getting a team that fired damn near their whole defensive staff. So where do the Bucs go from here? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know, because it didn't. If it ended well, okay, but it didn't end well. 2-7 last 9 games. Why would a guy come in and step in this situation, a credible guy, with these openings? Eagles, Lions, Chargers, Falcons, Dolphins. We're gonna interview all these people. Who else did we interview? Was Mike Kafka, Todd Monken? We interviewed what's the other guy we interviewed? Matter of fact, in the chat, I can't think of the top of my head. Who all we interviewed? Who all the Bucs interviewed for OC positions since the season was over with? Since they fired Josh Gazara. I know it was Todd Monken and Mike Kafka. I forgot the other person. And then what type of relationship Ty Bowles have with these other guys? Yeah, Brian Callahan. All guys that didn't do a good job. Zach Robinson. All these guys they interviewing didn't do a good job with their offense. Calling plays. It's questionable. Mike Kafka, when he took over the interim head coach and / OC, he blew 2 games. The Lions and the Green Bay game. 2 games that the Giants should have won, he blew it with bad coaching and bad play calling. And then Zach Robinson, we just saw him with the Falcons. He didn't look good outside of the Bucs. Oh, we're going to hire Zach Robinson because he did a good job against the Bucs defense. That'd be a terrible way to hire somebody. Brian Callahan, did you see him with Tennessee? It's just not good, man. Like, once again, even somebody about Brian Dable. Okay, Brian Dable, he didn't look good. We're interviewing people that didn't do a good job at their last stint, and they're not up and coming. All these guys they interview are not up and coming veteran OCs, or they're moving the bar. Like on the defensive side, you got a lot of DCs that are good and up and coming. If only this OC hiring cycle was swapped with the defense, because this cycle there's going to be a lot of defensive coordinators getting head coaching jobs, or DCs going to DC position. So it's like the OC market don't look great. A couple guys at the top, Stefanski, which I think he's questionable, and Mike McDaniel and Ty Monken. That's your best 3 hires as far as veteran OCs. This ain't a good look, folks. And the Mike Tomlin situation makes things more complicated. Why wouldn't Mike McDaniel want to work with Dan Quinn? I mean, Dan Campbell. Why wouldn't he want to work with Dan Campbell? Why wouldn't he want to get his hands on the Eagles offense? Why wouldn't he? I would. The Falcons offense with those weapons. Why wouldn't he do that? Oh, the Bucs got a 32-year-old Mike Evans and a 30-year-old Chris Godwin. With questions in the quarterback situation, it's not the best situation. It's a fiery guy, but I mean, I don't think Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback, but look at the situation. If you go to the Eagles, you immediately make the team better. Mike McDaniel, Todd Monken, any good up and coming quarterback coach, passing game coordinator. If you go to to the Chargers, you got Justin Herbert, 6'5". And I'm not a big fan of Justin Herbert. So, like Clint Kubiak, he interviewed for head coaching jobs. Why would he come to the Bucs to be OC? It's a funny situation for the Bucs, man. This is not the time to be looking for OC for the Bucs. But unfortunately, this is where we are. So if we get a good OC, he out. And if we don't get a good OC, guess what? We're starting over, head coach and GM out of it, and a whole new staff, a fresh reboot. Evans retired. Godwin probably gets cut. Vita probably gets cut. Like we're in that range. The Bucs head coach Todd Bowles and you Jason Light supporters and detractors, they both on the hot seat. Especially Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles is especially on the hot seat. And if you fire Todd Bowles at this point next year in 2027, January 2027, why would you want Jason Light around? Ever since the Super Bowl, it has not been great. 2021 was the peak, 13-4. I keep mentioning this. Ever since then, it's been pretty much not good. You got time. I'm just telling you, I'm just keeping 11-5, 13-4 in 2021, and 8-9 in 2023. 2022, 9-8 in 2023, 10-7 in 2024, regressed in 2025. That's not good. And if anybody was smart, like Tomlin or any other possible head coach, you probably want to sit back and wait till next year, because if this job do come open, what's happening? Personally, for the Bucs' best interest in 2026, of course you want to stick with Todd Bowles, but get somebody solid. You're not going to get the cream of the crop. I'll be surprised honestly, and I would be happy, but I'll be surprised if the Bucs get Mike McDaniel. I'll be shocked. But that's a one and done guy. He was a head coach for 4 years. You don't think he's gotten experience and learned from his mistakes? So we do get McDaniel. That's a one and done guy. And he gets the offense running, humming. Guess what? Phone call. Bengals next year. Jets next year. The Bills next year might call. With McDermott's situation. Bengals, Bills, Jets. Packers situation might get a little funny. Colts situation. Like, Mike McDaniel is going to be a one and done if he comes here. Yep. Or the Bucs could elevate him to the head coaching job and get rid of Todd Bowles. So if the offense performs but the defense don't, you get rid of Todd Bowles and you elevate Mike McDaniel to the head coach. Once again, I just don't see a scenario at this point where Mike McDaniel chooses the Bucs. And then let's get to this point. Who's the good fit for the Bucs as an OC? We have no stability at OC. And look, and it sucks for Baker Mayfield. It sucks for Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. It sucks for those guys because it's another Byron Leftwich, Dave Canales, Liam Cohen, Josh Kazar, and now another OC. 5 different types of offenses. And you could tell the Bucs probably want to stay with the same type of offense, which I think is a mistake at this point. Josh Kazar was right under Liam Cohen. And Liam Cohen didn't even bother to ask for Josh Kazar. Because he could have took Josh Kazar. He wanted Kevin Cranberry. Didn't get Kevin Cranberry, but guess what? He got somebody else. So I asked y'all to ask, I say that to say this. I say that to say this in my closing remarks. Who fits the Bucs as an OC? Because 2026 is literally a gray year for the Bucs. A gray, not great, a gray year. Because we don't know what's going to happen. Like, everything is in question. The Bucs are on the verge of a full reboot or sustain. You add more pieces. This is a pivotal offseason for the Todd Bowles, tenure. This is his biggest offseason since he's been a head coach. / even a DC going back to 2019. This is the Bucs' biggest season. And I told y'all this a couple years ago with Todd Bowles. You get stuck in this fantasy world of mediocrity, and you ask the Steelers fans. They got rid of an all-time great coach, Hall of Fame coach, and we sitting here with Todd Bowles with the mediocrity. The Steelers, Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh, we want them gone. The fan base. Those coaches are way better than Todd Bowles, more successful than Todd Bowles. Meanwhile, we stuck with Todd Bowles and his mediocrity. That's settling. That's the word. That is the definition of insanity. This is the mediocrity loop. Because as a fan, I want to see this team take another step. We're tired of seeing drawing a straight line the entire time. We're tired of that with a couple of bumps here and there, a couple down, a little bit up. We want to see this franchise sustain high level winning multiple years moving forward. Because these other teams are putting themselves in position like remember the Lions? Lions was a laughing stock. Jaguars look like they done made a turn, right? With the Liam Cohen hire. We're gonna see how he does in 2026. It shouldn't be a huge drop off from 13 wins, right? They got tightened up their secondary, but Hunter will be back. But unless you got an elite quarterback, you're going to be running in circles. And we don't have an elite quarterback, and we don't have an elite coach. And we have a questionable GM. We're in quicksand, is my point. Most important offseason for the next 3 years for the Bucs. This is make or break for the Bucs. Because if the Bucs don't get this right with the OC situation, you're getting Baker Mayfield out of there. I think it'll be best for the Bucs to let Baker Mayfield play the entire year with no extension. Do not extend him. Based on what we just saw, you cannot extend. I don't even care. It's game number 9, and the Bucs are 6-3. You don't extend him. Don't do it. Let him play the entire season out. Because if it falls apart and you extend him, total disaster. Remember, Baker's first year, 9-8. Next year, 10-7 with a top tier OC. Third year, 8-9. You can't pay $50 million for that. He's not elevating the franchise. That's my point. He's not a Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes. I think Drake May is better than Baker Mayfield at this point. Jalen Daniels is better than Baker Mayfield. Matthew Stafford, obviously better than Baker Mayfield. A lot of people will probably take Justin Herbert over Baker Mayfield. So I'm saying, before we try to start talking about putting out contracts for the quarterback, it's the head coach situation. Because if Baker got a good head coach and a good OC, he's going to look good. Exactly. You have to make Baker Mayfield play that contract out, entire contract. Because if he has a mediocre year in 2026, honestly, you can move off from that. Because he'll be, 31 next year? This year? Going on 32? So you can literally move on from Baker Mayfield and go get a young quarterback. At some point, the Bucs will have to do it. You know what I'm saying? So this is a good time to kind of do something like that. To go get a young quarterback in the 2027 draft. Or he'll be 32. So yeah, this is like the perfect time. Because at this point, what you think he's going to elevate? You think he's going to elevate the team to elite level type mentality? No. Look, Baker Mayfield, he tries hard, slightly overachieved in 2024 because he had a perfect OC. You know what I'm saying? But when you put Baker Mayfield and say, okay, Baker, it's on you, can't do it. So the Bucs in a good situation as far as the future, if it doesn't pan out in 2026, you can move on from Baker Mayfield and you don't have to pay him a lot of money. You can move on from Todd Bowles and Jason Light. You can reset the franchise with GM, head coach, new quarterback. But because I wouldn't trust Jason Light drafting a quarterback at this point. I would not trust Jason Light drafting a quarterback at this point because he don't know what he's doing. Yeah, Jameis Winston, a talented guy, erratic, a lot of turnovers, very risky guy, but he didn't set him up for the best success with Lovie Smith and Dort Cutter. And then he brought in his buddy Bruce Arians with a crazy offense. And then he drafted Kyle Trask. He didn't set him up for the future. So you want him to draft another quarterback? Nah, I'm good. I do not want Jason Light to draft another quarterback for this franchise. I'm good. Because he don't know what to do. He has to go get Baker Mayfield and Tom Brady to look competitive. It's just like the outside linebacker situation in a linebacker situation. He don't do good there. He didn't do good at pass rush. He didn't do good at linebacker. He didn't do good at quarterback. I don't want him drafting the Bucs' next quarterback. I just don't at this point. The 2027 draft class is looking really good. It's going to be several quarterbacks that's going to go in that first round. Yep. I'm going to say about 4 or 5 of them. In my personal take, early take, the Bucs probably should position themselves to get one of them. Yeah. Get one on a rookie deal and you build a roster up. You go hard with the roster. That's what I would do. Because if you pay this man $45, $50 million, you're stuck. It's a tool contract situation. He's going to be, by the time he's not getting any better, so 32, 33, 34, and he's going to be locked in getting $45, $47 million, and he's not doing good. Still 8-9, 9-8, maybe a 10-7. Like, we're stuck. I would get me a quarterback in the 2027 draft. That's my take. And build the roster up. Yep, go hard. Free agents, whatever. Because you got tackles, you got Luke Gedeke and Tristan Wirfs, right? You got J Mac and Emeka Egbuka. You get your young quarterback on a rookie deal, you can do a whole lot more with the roster than tying up $40+ million into a 32-year-old quarterback that's not getting any better or taller. And you can get off of Todd Bowles and Jason Light. It's like it's not a reset kind of sort of. It's an organizational reset, which a roster still is going to be solid offensively. And you tighten that defense up, it's not a bad situation moving forward, but the current structure, Light, Bowles, Baker, Mayfield, it's not good enough. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. But that's my early prediction on that. I don't want to get too far ahead, but 2026 season is a very, very huge season for us and the team. Because as a fan, I'm going to go to several games this year, despite the fact that this team don't look good. I'm going to a couple new stadiums this year and a couple home games this year. Of course, the big Bucs OC tailgate, game this year, but I'm still going to support my team. I just don't like the direction. And I'm not going to wish my team to lose in 2026. I'm going to root for my team to win, but I'm going to start doing it. But I always wait till November, December. I've been doing this for a long time, folks. I don't talk, I don't talk just because I've been just talking. A lot of stuff I've been talking about is coming to fruition. It's right in your face, like stuff that I talked about in 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 2021, 2022. It's been on point. It's not been perfect, but it's been in the range. It's been on par on where we're at now. If you go back and watch all my videos and everything I talked about, it's on par. Not perfect, but it's in the vicinity of where we're at now. Some people get mad at me, but it's like, well, look where we at. Because if it goes bad this year, guess who's going to get put out in the spotlight? Jason Light, because they're going to like, you had a losing streak at the end of the season. You finished under 500 for the second time during his tenure. And here we are in week 8, 9, 10, 11, and the Bucs are sitting at 4-8 at week 12, or 3-7 at week 11. You had the opportunity to do it, and you didn't do it. I made a post the other day about, I watched the Texans defense last night. Compare that to the Bucs defense. Compare that to the Bucs defense. I sat there and watched the Texans dismantle the Steelers offense with ease. It was almost like they was waiting on the Texans. They was waiting on the offense to do something. Like, hey, y'all, we got them under control. Can y'all just do something? And then the Texans offense finally woke up and did something. Pretty devastating, wasn't it? I mean, I'm sitting there watching the game in the fourth quarter like 10-6. And I had no hope in the Steelers. Even at 7-6. I was like, the Texans going to win this game regardless. I don't care what the Steelers do. As the game progressed, you saw the Steelers had no answer. It didn't matter what the Steelers did. They'll make a play here and there. They'll make some yards, a 10-yard catch, 12-yard catch, 15-yard catch, and that'll be it. Matt Burke at DC. D'Amico Ryans. Players take after their coach. The players play like D'Amico Ryan. If anybody knows D'Amico Ryan, played at Alabama linebacker. He played with the Texans. Got hurt. But when you saw D'Amico Ryan's play, he played with fire. And comparing it to Todd Bowles is night and day. Those players play like D'Amico Ryan. They hit you in the mouth. In the mouth. They got a bunch of dogs. D-A-W-G-S. Dogs. Even their backups came in smacking people around. And they be like, 17-0. They be like in your grill, like, yeah, we really like that. Meanwhile, you look at the Bucs weak defense. Meow, 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 meow. Smile, smile, smile. Roll your boat. Roll your boat. Gently down the street. Cut that crap out. The Vita stuff and all that goofy roll your boat. Cut that out and get to the grind. Get physical. Get real with it. Stop acting like a smiling jag. We got a bunch of jags on this damn defense. It's just frustrating. Even the Steelers defense was doing good. We got too many meows. Smiley face Vita. Roll your boat. Every time I get a turnover, we got to sit down on our booties and roll the boat. Man, cut that out. I want you to hit somebody after the play and then yapping them out. I want you to look at the scoreboard. 23-0. F dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really like that. Weak. Because of the head coach. Because the head goddamn coach. Weak. That's why the Bucs defense looks weak. I don't care about none of that. Oh, the Bucs defense. I don't care about none of that. Watching the Steelers defense and watching the Texans defense and the Broncos defense and the Patriots defense, like, what is going on with us? Why can't we just get like that? Why can't we have a Minnesota defense? Or the Saints defense? Guys out there whooping at you like, we really like that. We really like that. We're going to get in your grill. They getting in your grill. The Bucs defense, they make a tackle and they be like, what do we do, Tabos? Go back to the huddle? I know. I just had an outburst, man. It's just frustrating watching this Bucs defense look pathetic, man. We ain't got no dogs, man. I made a post. Get the front seven fixed. Restructure some contracts. Tristan Wirfs, Winfield Jr. Just get the contract situations restructured and put the money into the defense this time, Jason Light. No more receivers, no more tight ends, no more cornerbacks. Linebackers, outside linebackers, and D-linemen. That's it. That's all I want to hear from Jason Light. I don't want to hear anything about a goddamn receiver. I don't want to hear anything about a goddamn receiver, tight end, a running back, cornerback, a 5'9" safety. I don't want to hear nothing about that. I want to hear 6'3" linebackers, 230 pounds, can run. I want to hear about a twitchy edge rusher between 6'3" and 6'6". I want to hear about a 5 technique and a 0 tech, 6'3" and up, 300 pounds, Jeffrey Simmons type. I don't hear nothing else about nothing. Don't tell me anything about no goddamn Mike Evans, no Chris. I don't care. And it's nothing against those guys. I don't want to hear sugar honey iced tea about a goddamn offense. In the words of Mike Evans, what are we doing? What are we doing? Don't tell me this off season, free agency, and the draft. Don't tell me nothing about no goddamn offense. You talk to me about offense, I'm gonna turn my ears off. I'm gonna ignore you. Don't talk to me about no Baker Mayfield, no Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin, no Emeka Egbuka, no J-Mac. Don't talk to me about none of that. I'm not worried about the offense. I don't care. Don't talk to me about Cade Otton. Don't talk to me about Sean White, Sean Tucker. Don't talk to me about Tristan Wirfs. You get it. I don't care. Don't convince me. I'm worried about the goddamn defense, and particularly the front seven. And on the back end, interesting conversation that is going on around with the Zion McCullough contract and the Winfield Jr. contract. What do we do with those two contracts? Can't do no with Zion McCullough until 2027. You're probably going to restructure Winfield Jr. contract. You need to. 2 straight years of what? And can we, matter of fact, one thing I would want on that defense that's outside of the front seven, I want a 6-foot+ safety. I want to see a 6'1", 6'2" safety starting back there. I don't want no 5'9" midget safeties. I don't want that. I told y'all about that. I told y'all about that. They keep drafting the same player. Christian Indian, undrafted. Oh, we're going to draft Tyke Smith. We got Winfield Jr. You already had that type of dude back there. You had Winfield Jr. back there. You should have gave him another big safety. Should have gave him a 6'1", 6'2", Jesse Bates, Xavier McKinney, Kevin Bernard. Like, you could have gave him one of those guys to pair up with him. Justin Hamilton, Nick Umaware. No, we want to go draft Tyke Smith, put him at slot, and then move him back to the safety because we got Jacob Parrish, 5'10". Like, what are we doing here? Why do we keep drafting the same guy at the goddamn secondary, in particular safety? Tyke Smith and Winfield Jr. are canceling each other out. They're the same goddamn guy. I know I'm doing a lot of cussing, but they're the same player. And to be honest with you, Tyke Smith been playing better the last 2 years, period. And now we got Jacob Parrish, who I think should be on the outside. If the opportunity is there to draft a 6'2", 6'1", 6'2" safety, do it. I wouldn't mind that. 6'1", 6'3" safety, right up in that range, 205, 220 pounds. I want one of those back there. I don't want to see 5'9" midget safeties back there next year. Move Tyke Smith back down to the slot. Go get you a big safety. Move Jacob Parrish to the cornerback situation. Treat Zion McCullough like Jamel Dean. You got Benjamin Morris on the other side. You got Jacob Parrish on the other side. I think that's the best bet. And draft some players with some mean streaks, man. And do not give Vita Vea a big contract extension. I don't want to hear nothing about a Vita Vea contract extension. 3-year, $80 million. No. It's downhill for Vita. It's downhill, brother. Roll, roll, roll your boat. Get that weak stuff out of here. I don't want to hear nothing about a Vita Vea contract extension. Period. There is no reason to invest 2 years, $30, $40 million in a 340-pound aging zero tech. Was he 30 years old? Zero tech. He ain't getting no better. Pack him up, Swiss cheese. Not good enough, man. He don't make a big enough impact to get a contract like that. He done got his big. If the Bucs, if he get like a 2-year, $25 million contract, 17 guaranteed, and split that up in a couple of years, I can deal with that. But if the Bucs turn around and gave him a Chris Godwin contract, 3 years, $60 million contract, I'm like, what are you doing? I don't want to hear nothing about Vita Vea getting a 3-year contract. 1 or 2 years guaranteed. That's it. That's it. And it better be decent. Under $30 million. 2-year, $30 million. 22 guaranteed. 23 guaranteed. That's what I want to hear with Vita. I don't want to hear nothing about a big contract for Vita at 30 years old. Meanwhile, Derwin James, 29. I still don't like that. I still hate that. And what's so funny is, it's not like the Bucs can draft another defensive lineman younger, 320 pounds, and cheaper. The Bucs can replace Vita. To be honest, they can replace him. He's not like some type of, we got to have him out there. No, we can replace him. So here's my scope with the draft, and I'm gonna get into this, but I got to do my State of the Bucs videos coming up. But here's my thing about the draft. I'm gonna give y'all early insight. Draft and free agency. Inside linebacker, outside linebacker, D lineman. I want the Bucs with this setup. Inside linebacker, veteran rookie, or veteran rookie. Outside linebacker, veteran rookie, veteran rookie. D line, rookie, veteran. Like just revamp the front seven. 7 picks. 5 of those need to be defense. Your first 4 rounds need to be defense. Front 7. D-line, outside linebacker, inside linebacker. Or outside linebacker, D-line, safety. 6 foot plus. Jason Light first 4 picks should be strictly in the defense. Again, you keep drafting D linemen and outside linebackers until you get your goddamn dogs. I don't hear anything about, his background a little sketchy, James Pierce, the Derwin James background, the James Cook background, a little sketchy. We don't know about that. I don't care. First 4 rounds, defensive starters. If they're not starters, I don't want no more goddamn project players in the first 2 rounds. I want plug and play guys. First round, second round. Third round, getting him ready to be a starter. 4th round, getting him ready to be a starter. That's what I want to see. I want the Bucs to hit. I want the Bucs to have a draft like the Falcons had one. The Falcons had Walker, Pierce, Xavier Watts, Billy Bowman Jr. 4 guys, 4 starters in the draft. I want Jason Licht to do that. And think about the Falcons. It was first round, 3rd round, 4th round, all starters. Can you do that, Jason Licht? Can you do that? And there's some good free agent linebackers coming out off their team. Do something. There is no more excuse. You Jason Licht defenders, you better get behind your guy and you better pray. You better pray he get this draft right and this free agent class right. You better pray. You didn't draft Quinyon Mitchell. You didn't draft Cooper DeJean. You didn't draft Nick Umawari. You didn't draft Jaleel Campbell. You didn't draft Jack Campbell. You didn't draft Carson Schwarzenegger. You just didn't get the guys that we want you to get. Devontae Wyatt, Travis Jones, Christian Barmore. You keep goddamn missing. And you Jason Licht defenders, you better pray he gets the first 4 draft picks straight up defense. Because if he don't do that, I'm calling you out. I'm going to be on your necks because you can't tell me nothing about Jason Licht anymore if you don't get this right. Always talking about Tristan Wirfs, Luke Gedeke. Oh, he did this, he did that. What about the Chris Braswells? What about the Joe Transtoingas and Logan Halls? Questions on Kalijah Clan. What about those guys? He ain't do good in those. Savasi Dennis in the 5th round. No more of that. Getting Greg Gaines in free agency. No. Tell the whole story. Tell the truth. Don't cover up for Jason Licht's flaws and push a ridiculous narrative. I'm not going to let you do that over here. I don't hate Jason Licht, but I don't like how he drafts in certain areas. Severian Jenkins. Like, what the hell? You keep defending Jason Licht. I got no problem with that. But at this point, you got to ask yourself this question. Is he getting his defense right with his draft picks? You can cover your eyes and be blind all you want to, but this 2026 draft class and free agency and draft, you gotta look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself the question. And I want you to think back, 2020 up until now, what has he done on defense in the front 7? What has he done on defense in the front 7? Well, he did draft Kalijah Clancy. I don't give a 2 rats booties. What else? I mean, well, he did draft Tristan Wirfs. I didn't ask you that. I mean, okay. Well, he drafted Luke Gedeke. I didn't ask you that. I said defense. What did he do there? And every time you ask one of them Jason Licht fans that, they always deflect. And this is nothing personal for you Jason Licht fans. But stop deflecting the flaws, man. The flaws is in the front 7, and you know it, and you don't want to admit it. Because you want to anchor yourself to Tristan Wirfs and Luke Gedeke on the offensive side. And Bucky Irving. You want to anchor yourself to those picks. But anytime somebody asks you about the goddamn defense, you, well, you know what I mean. He still was a good GM. He's still a good GM. He missed, but, he's a good GM still. I didn't ask you that. I asked you, what did he do in the front 7? What credible names did he put in that front 7 to help this defense since 2020? Answer that goddamn question. Don't tell me about Tristan Wirfs. Don't tell me about Vita Vea. Don't tell me about Luke Gedeke. Don't tell me about Bucky Irving. Don't tell me nothing about those guys. I asked you about the front seven. Well, you know, I mean, he didn't do a good job in the front seven, but you know, you got to give him a chance. Well, goddamn. How many chances he gonna get to get? How many chances he gonna get? Joe Tryon-Stowinka. But Logan Hall, absolutely nothing. At best, solid. William Golson 2.0. Chris Braswell, project. But you never talk about those, Jason Light fans. You never talk about those picks. And those are early picks. You dance around those picks and you protect yourself with the ridiculous offensive tackles. That's 3 front 7 players that he missed on. I keep telling you guys this. When you miss on your first and second round picks in pivotal positions, you set the franchise back 2-3 years. Guess what you got to do? You got to play catch up. Oh, he got the IB. Don't give me that. You're reaching. I'm talking about first and second round picks. You keep missing on those. You're hurting the defense in the front seven, Jason Light. And you, Jason Light protectors, need to stop that. Stop the delusion. Your guy's not doing a good job when it comes to that front seven. And I want you to be honest over here. 3 front 7 players have not panned out the way they should have been. You set the franchise back 2 to 3 years at those positions, which explains why he had to draft freaking Calijah Kancey. Because you got to make up for the Logan Hall crap on the D-line. And then you draft the Calijah Kancey, 6'1", 280 pounds, who has upper body issues. Thinking that he's going to be Aaron Donald in the 3-4 defense. Lining them up at the 5 tech or the 0 tech. What are we doing here? And then you're going to draft Hassan Reddick. And then you're going to sign Hassan Reddick and Greg Gaines. What are we doing there? But hey, just like tractors and defenders, it's all good because he's been doing a good, solid job everywhere else. I can do this all night long with you guys, with Jason Light. I can literally do it all night long. But I'm going to give him one more shot. I don't think he's a terrible GM. But time is ticking on Jason Light. And I don't want to hear anything else about, oh, we ain't got no money. The Tom Brady situation. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we got money this offseason. We got some money. We under the salary cap, $34 million. And we're going to talk about that too. Restructure it all. We're going to have plenty of money as far as we're going to have over $40 million salary cap wise. So you can't give me that excuse. You can't give me that excuse. We ain't got no money. Yeah, we do. We ain't got no money to spend. That's why we only got Hassan Reddick. Oh, no. You don't get those excuses no more. We're gonna have some money to spend on free agency. But if you get a veteran guy, get a rookie guy to go with him. We need playmakers and we need depth. Because now Jason Light is going to have to make up for the Joe Tryon-Stowinka pick and the Logan Hall pick and the depth pieces of Greg Gaines and you know, serviceable Anthony Nelson and missing on Hassan Reddick. Hell, I wouldn't be mad if Jason Light trade back into the first round and get another defensive player. The Falcons did it and it worked. At the 15th pick, the Bucs select Sonny Styles. Great. We have a trade. With the 27th pick, the Bucs traded back into the first round and they gave up next year's first round and a third round in 2027 to come back in and draft outside linebacker David Bailey. Well, You know, you get what I'm saying. I would not be mad if Jason Light jumps back into the first round and double it up. Get aggressive. I think a lot of us fans want to see him get aggressive. You know what this team needed at the trade deadline, and you did absolutely nothing. You did absolutely nothing to address the front seven, and you know that front seven needed help. So as a fan, I want to see you get a little bit aggressive in the draft. Maybe get 2 guys in the first round. If you believe, and I'm talking about not just 2 guys, I'm talking about impact guys from credible conferences. Not no Houston, Texas. I mean, not no Houston Cougars, no Washington Huskies. Do not go back down that route. Or a development player like Chris Braswell in the second round. No. Or short arm Elijah Clancy. No. Upgrade from Sebastian Dennis. Upgrade from Chris Braswell and Anthony Nelson. Upgrade from Logan Hall. He's a solid rotational piece at best. Look around the league in the first 4 rounds on other teams. Why can't we get these guys? Look around the league, folks. From round 1 to round 4, you keep seeing these guys. He was drafting 3rd, 4th round. You can get a lot back in 3rd, 4th round. If you just scout right. I want to save my picks. Falcons went from last in the NFL in sacks to number 2 because they got Leonard Floyd, James Pierce Jr., and Jalen Walker. And then the year before that, they drafted 2 defensive linemen, Dorless and Arukaru. So they drafted Arukaru and Dorless in 2024, and then double back in 2025 with 2 first-round edge rushers, and they signed Leonard Floyd. It's 5 guys in the front 7. Completely changed that defense in 2 years. Arojo and Brandon Dorless, who got hurt late in the season, but Dorless had like 8 sacks as a defensive tackle. And Arojo, and then they had David Umanyata, they had James Pierce, Jalen Walker, Leonard Floyd, Caden Ellis, the other linebacker, number 17. Like, what are we doing here? And if you look at the Saints, Granderson, Old Man Jordan, Chase Young, Brian Breesy, Old Man Demario Davis, Pete Warner, Alontae Taylor, the cornerback, the Riley dude, Justin Reed, Sanker. Like, they got defensive players, man. Alontae Taylor. Like, what are we doing here? Saints got a top 10 defense. Who would have known? The Saints got a top 10 defense. We got the worst defense in the NFC South. I don't care anything about offense this summer. Draft or free. Do not sign no more offensive players unless it's a center. Yeah, we're trending backwards, man. I think the Saints are going to get a little bit better from what I've seen. Hashtag what I tell you. The Falcons, if they get the right coach, they will definitely be better, obviously, right? And the Panthers are kind of like in between. They're kind of like they need to get their front seven right. I mean, I think this division is going to be up for grabs next year or next season. The division will be up for grabs again. There is no clear-cut winner again. There is no clear-cut winner for the NFC South because guess what's going to happen again? If the Falcons get the coaching situation right, guess who's going to be the favorite? Falcons. Absolutely. I don't even care I don't care who they got at quarterback. They're going to be the favorites. Absolutely. The Saints are going to be right there with us, and the Panthers are going to be right there with us. But the Falcons will be favored again if they get a credible head coach. I told y'all this. If they get the right coach, we're in trouble. I've been telling y'all that all last season. The Falcons get the head coaching. If they get the head coaching situation right, they're going to be a problem. That's me as a football fan talking. That's not me trying to be a Falcon fan. I'm just giving you the facts. You saw the games. Both games against the Falcons. 23-20, we beat them by a field goal. And then the second game, they beat us, obviously, you know what I'm saying? Was it 29-28? With a below average coach. Old man Kirk Cousins. I don't know if do we have the worst coach in the NFC South? We have the oldest. I think we have a dinosaur at head coach. We have a dinosaur at head coach. Kellen Moore under 45. Dave Canales under 45. And then whoever the Falcons get. Going into the season, I don't know how many wins we're going to have, but it won't be 10 based on right now. Based on right now, we're a 7-9 win team at best. 7-9 win team at best. Key word, key phrase, at best. Right now. Now, once free agency hit and the draft hit, it can change. But as of right now, the Bucs look like a 7, 8, maybe 9 win team. Don't get mad at me, folks. Get mad at the Bucs. I'm just telling you what I see. With that being said, shouts out to all the Powers and C bandits, man. I just wanted to drop some information on y'all for the 2026. We're gonna dive a little deeper for the state of the Bucs front office, state of the Bucs head coach, state of the Bucs coaching staff, state of the Bucs quarterback, state of the Bucs receivers, state of the Bucs running backs, state of the Bucs offensive line. There's going to be individual videos for each area. They won't be long videos. They'll be like kind of giving you the state of going into the season, off season. So, shouts out to all the Powers and C bandits. Thank you for joining. It's going to be all right, folks. Just a little frustrated. Hashtag get right. Fire those cannons. Seize the day. Raise the flag. Hashtag get right. That's it. I'll catch y'all in another video. Keep your notifications on, man. I'm coming back. I'm out.